Okay, now we're on to number 5, simplify the radical expression. Well, we know we can rewrite this as the square root of 10 over the square root of 81. And hopefully by now we realize we can't do anything with that square root of 10, so it's going to remain there on the top. And square root of 81, of course, is a perfect square, and that's 9. So we have the square root of 10, or radical 10, number of ways to say it, over or divided by 9. So that would have been answer choice D. Okay, number 6, simplify the radical expression. This looks a little scary at first. Square root of 63x to the 15th times y to the 9th divided by square root of 7xy to the 11th. Let's just take them all individually. Let's just start with the numbers. How about if we do that? So let's say the square root of 63 over 7. Well, we know that can be rewritten as the square root of 63 over the square root of 7. And 63, we can find a perfect square in there. That would be square root of 9. It's 9 times 7, 63. All that divided by the square root of 7. So we've simplified this a great deal already, because this right here cancel out and become just 1. And the square root of 9 is 3. So we've pared this down already to the top, to the number just being 3. So now we just have to work with this, get this other color up there, these variables in here, a different color. That's better. Okay, so we've got x to the 15th, y to the 9th, and we've got x and y to the 11th. Of course, that's square root, but we have to go back to the rules of exponents and remember that the first thing we want to do is, since we're dividing these, we're simply going to subtract their the power that they're at. This is at 15, this is at 4. So if we subtract that, we're going to be left with, on the top, we have x to the 14th, and on the bottom we have to subtract again, and we'll have y squared, because 9 minus 11 is going to leave us 2 on the bottom. Well, that bottom simplifies pretty quickly, because square root of anything squared is itself. So on the bottom we're going to have simply y. Then all we got to do is figure out what we're going to do with this up here. Well, hopefully by now we recognize that this could be written as square root of x squared times square root of x squared. We do that 7 times. It's going to give me 3x to the 7th. And if I write this out over here, x squared, square root of x squared, and keep going 7 times, and I'll have 7 x's. X times x times x, and so on, which will give me my final answer of 3x to the 7th over y, which is B. Okay, number 7, simplify the expression. And notice under the radical sign we have the same radicand, which is 3. Sorry, that was my dog. Also, so now all we have to do is add the numbers in front of this. Remember, the square root of 3, even though it doesn't show it, there's a 1 in front of there. Remember that. plus 4 times the square root of 3. We just add the 1 and the 4 and we get 5 times square root of 3, or 5 radical 3. So your answer on that one is B. Okay, number 8. Simplify the expression. Well, I'm going to rewrite it. We've got 2 radical 6, or 2 times square root of 6, minus 6 times, well, we can rewrite that 54 as what? What's 9 times square root of 6. Now, and hopefully by now, we know that the square root of 9 is 3. So we just have to multiply that 3 times the 6. So it's going to, let me bring this down. 2 times square root of 6 minus 18. Bring that down, times square root of 6. So now we have these two right here that are the same, which allows us to simply add the numbers in front. We just add this 2 and this negative 18. That will give me negative 16 times the square root of 6, which is answer choice D. Okay, simplify the expression. Well, we're going to have to use FOIL in this one. We're going to multiply it first, which is 8 times 8, which is 64. And then we will do first outer, which is 8 times negative square root of 11, so minus 8 times square root of 11. And we have to do inner, which is right here, 8 times square root of 7, so plus 8 times the square root of 11. And notice these are going to cancel out right here. Those are going to go away. And then we do the last term, which is 8 times negative square root of 11. Okay, sorry, hopefully you noticed that I made a mistake on that. Why I did that, we need to multiply right here square root of 11 times negative square root of 11, so let me get rid of this. So that gives me square root of 11 times negative square root of 11 is minus the square root of 11 squared. Of course, the square root of anything squared is itself, so that's minus 11. Here we have 64, we bring that down. Right here, these cancel out. We're left with negative 11, or 64 minus 11, which is 53. And if I erase this mess up here, you'll see that that was answer choice A. Okay, number 8, we have this in the denominator, so we need to rationalize that, which simply means we multiply by everything by its conjugate. So we have square root of 2 plus the square root of 6 divided by square root of 8 plus the square root of 6. Oops, that's a 6. So multiply top and bottom by the conjugate, which is the square root of 8 minus the square root of 6. In the top, we do the same, square root of 8 minus the square root of 6. And I'll work out the bottom first because it's quickest. So square root of 8 right here times the square root of 8 is square root of 64. We have minus the square root of 48. And here we have plus the square root of 48, and you see they're going to cancel out. then finally our last terms, square root of 6 times square root of negative 6, so it's minus square root of 36. And these, of course, cancel out. I'm left with square root of 64, which is 8, minus the square root of 36, which is 6. So on the bottom, I have 2. I'm going to set that over here. There's my bottom. There's my denominator. Up at the top, now I got to do this, distribute this, use FOIL. So I've got square root of 2 times square root of 8 is square root of 16. And I have square root of 2 times the square root of negative 6, which is minus the square root of 12. Then I have, change colors here. Square root of 6 times square root of 8 is plus square root of 48. And my last term, square root of 6 times square root of negative 6 is minus square root of 36. Okay, so far, so I'm going to erase some of this. I need some room to work. Get rid of this. You can go back and look at it on the recording. So of course, square root of 16 is 4. Minus, well, we can rewrite that as square root of 4 times square root of 3. And here we have square root of 16. So this is plus the square root of 16 times the square root of 3. And of course, the square root of 36 is 6, so it's minus 6. So we can combine some like terms. Right now we can take the 4 and the negative 6. That's going to give me negative 2. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 16 is 4. So I've got minus right here, minus 2 times square root of 3. And here I have 4 plus 4 times the square root of 3. So that gives me negative 2 right here, minus 2 right here. So that's plus 2 times the square root of 3. All of that over 2. Remember this 2 we had up here? So all of that over 2. So then these 2's all become 1's. These cancel out here. And we're left with negative 1 times square root of 3, or square root of 3 minus 1, which is B.